We start the meeting for the Education Committee. Unfortunately, Stephanie Calzado, the committee chairperson, is not able to join. Welcome. Thank you, Ms. Hardy.
No, you're fine.
So you get to spend some time with me.
Would you like me to take that?
Stephanie Calzado,
Excuse?
Evelyn Alvarez, Mohammed Sheikh,
Present, please.
Christina Culver, Joyce Bolton, Jacqueline De Jesus, present. Nacha Bobby, present.
Any other guests?
Can I see that?
Mr. Thomas Carswell,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you for joining us.
How much you want to talk, you want to talk about where you're from, so for the chair and for everyone else?
Okay. You want me to introduce myself?
Please.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I want to bring you greetings from the Honorable Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. My name is Thomas Carswell. I'm a 75-year native of the Mount Haven section of the South Bronx. Reverend Al Sharpton has entrusted in me the presidency of the Bronx chapter of the National Action Network, which I'm in the process of electing an executive board. Once I get that completed, we'll be operating out of Sharon Baptist Church at 827 Forest Avenue here in the Bronx. As I said, I'm a 75-year native of this South Bronx. I'm 75 years old. So I'm very active in this community. My heart is in this community. It's my home. And no matter how many people thumb their nose up to the South Bronx, I'm proud of it.
That's right.
Thank you.
If you don't mind repeating your name, sir?
Pardon?
If you don't mind repeating your name?
My name is Thomas Carswell.
Thomas Carswell.
Yes.
Thank you. I see.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Mohammed?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Mohammed Sheikh. I'm the board member, Community Board 1. And I'm Nick as well here living in this neighborhood, South Bronx, like 20+ years. That's all I can say. I'm contributing as much as I can to the community and the board.
Thank you, Mohammed.
My name is Jacqueline De Jesus, but everyone calls me Jackie. I'm on the board for youth education, but also I'm a parent advocate for kids on the spectrum, and I run a food pantry for our church, so we have community hours.
Where is the church located?
It's on 137th and Cypress.
What denomination?
It's Christian.
Thank you.
City of Refuge.
Okay.
That's the name of the church.
Oh, okay. Hi, my name is Naisha. I'm also on the Board of Youth and Education. I'm a case manager outside of this for Fortune Society. Other than that, that's about it. And a student.
Where do you live?
I live on 885 Brook Avenue in that area. So 161st.
Okay. Staff?
Hi, I'm Diana Leonard. I'm the community associate here at the Bronx Community Board 1.
Anthony Jordan, District Manager to the board. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. I'm so excited to have all of you guys back from the summer. As the weather is kind of dictating now, we are now in the fall season, and we're back in full swing. So I'm excited about it. So welcome.
Welcome. Welcome. If you want to introduce yourselves, please.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Bowles.
I'm Derek Guest.
You are guests today? Any particular organization that you're representing?
Yeah, we're representing a school called the Learning Group.
The Learning Group. Well, my name is Paola Martinez, and I am the new chair for Community Board 1. Prior to serving in this role, I was the chair for the Economic Development Committee And my day job, I work for Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of New York as Director of Government Relations. Prior to that, I was also with Catholic Charities as Director of Social Services for the Betances Houses here in the South Bronx. Although I do not live in this area, I work in the area. And I am very honored to have you all here. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your dedication to the community as well. The reason why I'm sharing this meeting today is because unfortunately Stephanie Calzado, she cannot be with us today. I understand that this is a short meeting because we don't have a lot of things in the agenda. However, we can use some of this time effectively. I really thank you for just like sharing a little bit about you. And I want to ask kindly of you to, continue your engagement in the community. And I want to thank you for showing up and stepping up and serving in this community.
Sorry, Chair.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Who's having it?
Oh my God. Hi there, I'm Diana. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Please have a seat here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry.
And of course, the community board offers so many opportunities for people to be engaged, whether you are an advocate for children with special needs, or whether you are advocating for people with, who have been through the justice system. I like to see the diversity of folks that we have here, right? So that's very good. I will kindly ask either Diana or Anthony if we could print out the calendars to make sure that each person has one before they leave the meeting. And also, there are some events coming up for the community board. One of the things that I would love to work with each one of you is to ensure that we have representation from the community board in the many events that happen throughout the district. Part of our responsibility as a community board is to have our ears on the ground and understanding what's happening. In addition to, of course, launching our own initiatives, it is the most important thing for the community board is to listen to what the community is doing. So we will share more information on upcoming events that are of interest, but I also want to invite you to pay attention to what's happening for the remainder of the month of October. So that if you want to attend other meetings, please, by all means. And if you can commit to attending our general meeting on October 30th, that's going to be super important. We are working very actively with NYCHA residents at the Mitchell houses. As you know, there was a partial collapse in that site. So that is taking, a lot of coordination and time, and people need a lot of support. I think someone here mentioned that you are a social worker. And as you know, in situations like this, there is a pressing need to provide services to folks because they're dealing with anxiety and many other issues. So that's part of the work that, along with Anthony and the staff of the community board, we are doing. So I know you're leaders in the community. If you know of resources that we can connect people with, that is greatly appreciated. We're not sure yet how many students have been displaced because families have been displaced and they are living in hotels temporarily. And, that means that they will have to travel to go to their schools, and they're tired. They might not be able to go to the regular after school programs. So at some point, we're going to be reaching out to you for support, volunteering. But if you know of resources that on the top of your head, you can even hey, you know what? This is something that could benefit folks. By all means, share with us. And that is an excellent opportunity to step up and support our community. So I just wanted to share that, and I will ask for the staff help as we go over this agenda. So we already did introductions, old business is next.
As the chair mentioned, is one of the review. Some folks want to go around what part of the committee review. Any thoughts about last term's accomplishments or events that we did? I know that we have had several. So Jack.
So we had the job fair, which was very successful. We learned a lot. It was our first time doing the job fair, so we want to make it now like an ongoing thing, not just that first time. So it was. We learned, we did it. It was 18 and over, but then we realized we had a lot of like teenagers younger than that. So now we know the next time to get younger groups, which I was able to connect with Eastside House Settlement Job Plus, where they provide like jobs for the teens and stuff. So our next fair, they would be there. What else did we do? Oh, and then we started off planning of an event supposedly to happen this year for a seat at our table, where we was gonna invite different high schoolers from the area to come in and, basically have a conversation with us. What is it they want to see more in the community board? Like, what are the issues they are having, so that way we can come together. We was gonna have some, city officials come and try to help them as well to get jobs and everything.
Yeah, that was the gist of it all. Yeah, so that was we're gonna begin the planning now. We had it planned for the summer, but our schedule didn't align with that, so we wanted to start planning this year. So
Yes.
soon we might be setting up the event.
So we already started everything. We already have the agenda, the checklist, the contacts, and everything. We just gotta now execute it.
Can you tell me, is that a second job fair that you're planning to do?
No, this is not a job fair. So this is
No,
basically.
you talk about Job Plus.
Oh, for the job plus, yes, that's another fair we're gonna do. We did it. When was it? In April.
I don't think we decided on the
Not
date yet.
But last year we did it around like April. I think
Yeah,
it was in June. So this year we haven't picked a date, but it was successful. We was able, like, a lot of people were able to get jobs and everything. So we're gonna stick to it. We just haven't committed on a date. The seat on the table, that's something for teens to invite them over, because in our community and our meetings like this, there's no youth here, no teens. So the whole point of seat at the table was to invite them in. We was emailing different school districts, the whole District 7 it was, and charter schools.
Mhm.
And we was inviting the whoever's on the honor society. They will give us a list of 2 students per school, and they were gonna come in. We would have a conversation, like, what would they like to see in the community board? What is the issues they are having? How could we benefit also to get them to join the community board and be able to get, whatever resources and information they need, and city officials have the resources for them to connect.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Do we have a list of the organizations that participated in the job fair at
Yes.
that time?
We still have that.
We had also discussed potentially sending a survey to the people who attended to see what they want to see more of and what we could do better, just to be able to make it better for the job fair.
Yes.
We haven't yet conducted the survey yet. Oh, we haven't even
Not
drafted
yet.
it, but that's something that's on the agenda to do.
Thanks, Naisha. My suggestion would be, because the response rate, once you send out surveys, is very, very slow. My suggestion would be that we develop the survey, and when people come, right, like what I've seen is that, for example, let's say you have 20 presenters, right? You give folks some type of incentive, perhaps like, we can come up with something, but like if they go around each one of the tables, they get resources. At the end, they can fill out a brief survey, and we collect it right there. Because once you send it out, I've worked with surveys many times, your response rate is not gonna be as high. But I think that's a great idea. What I would do, if you have the data for those folks that participated, do you have emails, phone numbers?
Yeah, we still have all that.
For them? I mean, I'm not gonna say don't send the survey. It's up to you. It's just a recommendation that we collect the survey on site. But I do agree with you that it would be a great idea to collect information in advance now
So we can.
to see what people want and what they appreciate.
Mhm.
So I think that's great. Anthony has information about a job fair that's actually going to happen here, and we were having a discussion now. This is with regards to the borough jail, and although that has been a controversial proposal in our district, it is happening, right? And there's gonna be opportunities there. So perhaps you could collaborate and we could use some of that information that we collected in our job fair and kind of like tag along with this effort to bring as much resources as possible. Do you wanna say something on that?
Sure. No, not for that right now, Chair. So that's set on a date for it. So we premature and you. I wanted to build on what our colleagues have said about the two specific areas of, first of all, congratulations on those things. And the board in the past has done that with monkey survey. That is, which makes it the most exciting, interactive immediately. When we send out the survey, we get immediate statistical reports on how people are. You can kind of track up to the daily how people are being responsive. Do we have already ideally put together what are questions that you ideally want to ask, and how to get, and folks could either at the end of the survey respond with usually responsive answers, or create the answers as you if they want to be a little bit more specific, something that you may not be saying. I also wanted to expand on the seat at the table, which is what we heard from our listeners, our young people that said a lot of it that they don't feel no one is listening to them. It's hard to make a connection, as this committee talked about, where elected officials or multi-levels of government, likely our decision makers, are not engaging with them on a level where they can be expressive. So it was an opportunity for young people, as Jackie and Aisha talked about, that did not include parents, so that kids feel open to have the conversation. And like Jackie and said, it was congressman, city council, the state assembly, like the borough president, in a place where we have, I think, a morning and into the afternoon, where it's kind of an exciting opportunity to hear firsthand, where, like you see mentioned, two questions or two interactions each and two people. So that was this an amazing event. Took us a while to figure it out, because as we know, we only have one District 7 school that is a high school level. Other schools are mostly charter schools or parochial schools. So, but this team is ready to hit the ground running with that. And I think that's an exciting opportunity. I can't wait to partner with you guys on it. And what I've noticed about this group, Chair, if I can add, they work even when we're on break. WhatsApp has been, which is one of the platforms that we talked about in our last conversation, has been their form of communication, and they've been very thoughtful to throughout the summer and having activities where we have a chance, Diana and I had a chance to interact, especially with Jackie, to get us to do stuff, and then Aisha has jumped in and stuff, and so we're excited about the work ahead. I don't know if,
Anthony, sorry, I had a quick question about the monkey survey.
Yeah.
What did you mention again?
Survey monkeys.
Survey Monkey.
Oh, Survey Monkey.
Survey
Okay.
Monkey.
And you said that's more successful?
In my experience, the board has used it, and it provided information. It provided updates when folks responded, and it gave you graphic or statistical information about what people, depending on the questions, how people respond. So it gave you, like, say people said we want cheese doodles instead of chips. It will show you that next time you need to have cheese doodles at the event, because that was preferable food, or whatever. If you want a Hawaiian punch to the soda, it would, and it's giving examples that will tell you where you need to be guiding your conversations. Likely, it could also make mandatorily responses to some questions, but I liked it because it really started early on to see where trends were going, where people, with the questions that you develop yourself, to be able to, and it gave you that information directly back, and folks didn't have to come in and find you with a paper or run back to the office, or kind of like a place people use for Google Docs. But it was successful for me when we started talking about cannabis license in the South Bronx, and we decided to move forward with the consensus of the community board agreeing that the state law was coming, we need to embrace it and put some guardrails around it so that people can be, the board can begin to understand our role in that. So that's this, depending on what folks are comfortable with. I think in the summer, young people showed me a lot that I didn't know enough of. I thought I knew everything, but here I am learning again, and it was because, folks were showing us different apps. SurveyMonkeys is a suggestion, whatever you guys can rock with, it's up to you.
It's a good tool,
Mhm.
and it's very easy to use, and what it gives you is quantitative data. So for example, if you phrase your question, you can add demographics to understand like how many people, the ethnicity of the people that are coming, the ages. You could do something like, what kind of jobs are you interested in? Administrative, hospitality, and then it'll give you statistics. Like 20% of the attendees indicated that they want jobs in administration or hospitality or this or that. So depending on how you just ask your questions, but I guess that the question for this group is like, what do we want to know, right? When people fill out those statistics, when people fill out the survey, what do we as a community board want to know? Just something to consider, but yeah, that's a great idea.
I think it will be smart to do both, the Survey Monkey and then the survey after childcare, just to prepare for the next year as well.
Well, you can do the same format, the same thing that you create for the Survey Monkey could be so that you only develop one survey.
Mhm.
You can have it both printed and digital.
Okay, that's an idea, yeah.
Yeah. And one question I had, so in your last fair, did you have like a panel of experts to present on topics that you think would be relevant? Like for example, let's say if you were to do a panel of experts for people who are interested in jobs in technology, or if you want to help people prepare for interviews and things of that nature. Have you thought about that?
Well, the seat at the table, that's part of that. We was gonna give them resume building classes. So basically, we came to the conclusion that in this area especially, there's not a lot for our youth. The after school programs are limited, the resources are limited, we don't have San Mary Center as it is. So there's not much places for them to go, and there's not much for them to do. So that's why he was inviting us to our table to let us know, okay, since you don't have, so what is it you're looking for? Patterson got a new basketball court, so that's a new thing. We can do something to work with them to get, basketball change. So that's what he was inviting them to see what it is they need from the community, what it is they expect from us as the community board. What could we deliver? What could we provide? And how could they work with us to make it happen?
Do we have a group that we are already working with to engage with youth in the district?
When you said group, what do you mean?
For example, we don't have a lot of young people come to our community board, right? So let's say people from 12 to 24. So how do you mentioned that we work with some of the school districts.
Yes, and Guns Up, Guns Down,
Uh-huh.
they have an, did I say it right?
Hands down, like,
Yeah, I always remember that.
work.
So they have actual after school program. And before in our meetings, we've had them come to attend, like the students come, and they ask us questions. It's been very successful. So that's why we thought about this, to bring them actually over to partner with them.
Before which meetings?
No, when we had our meetings,
Uh-huh.
they have attended our meetings before.
Our community meetings?
Yes.
Okay.
So they have, attended, they have given us, their opinions, what they want, what it is they're expecting, the issues they were facing. So we already have that connections with them, with the groups, with the teams from there. When there was other schools that presented, we invited them as well, and they were able to speak to the different schools. I forgot the names of the schools because it was a few.
Okay.
So they've been to our meetings more than once.
So we have students that we could potentially tap into and even say, do you want to spread the word out amongst your friends?
And we have one of the other members is a principal. So she helps us a lot with teams, and then Christina as well. She works with like everybody has a connection with groups of teams, so that we can be able to, bring them in.
And
Okay.
we were also discussing having like programming, like tutoring at the office, just to attract them, so they're not just coming for the board, they can come in for something else and stay for the board. So
About how many people have come?
youth wise, I think at one time we had like, bring a person to the meeting, and we had like, I think 1 or 2 youth. But, prior to that, we haven't had success having the youth at the office. It did do the game night.
Yeah, it was a game night.
How many
it was
people we
a-
had in the game?
Probably like over 30, right? Yes.
Okay.
It was so we did it one time, and then it was like a person went to try out. We didn't even broadcast it like all over the place, and we had like a good 1 or 30.
My suggestion, and perhaps this can be a separate meeting with Stephanie, if we were successful setting up a game night and some students showed up, that's a good number, 30. Perhaps we can use that opportunity to bring other folks, other organizations that can provide the resources. If you commit to doing tutoring, that's setting up a program, that's a heavy lift. But if we wanted to do something easier, game nights, we get the Third Avenue Beat, some organizations to support, we do pizza, we do refreshments. That gives you an opportunity to disseminate a survey where you can say, okay, what do people want? Guys, what do you want? What do you need? Tutoring can be one of the options. So that way we can better coordinate with the organizations or with the prospect employers, and your job fair can be more successful. If after that feedback, we come to the table and we say, they really want tutoring and they would be willing to come here, we could reach out to volunteers that perhaps can help, and we can elaborate something more. But I would definitely build upon what has been successful for you and something that is an easy lift, and that seems to me like the game night.
Steph and I were having a conversation. I think I think as well for Halloween to creating to doing an event to give out candy and stuff, but all inclusive, and it will be held here in the office. We were
All inclusive.
meaning that it's for all.
Oh, okay, so
Sensory
everybody.
friendly, yes, sensory friendly. That is just not, because that was the issue we realized too when we did question them out. There's nothing here for kids on the spectrum. There's nothing in our area, so we're trying to open up our space so that no one's welcome. Not just it's for everybody, because a lot of parents don't send their kids because it's not inclusive. So we were able to reach out to some vendors for potential donating. So we were able to get a list together of sensory friendly toys that they could donate, that we could put in the bag, because again, those kids don't eat candy, and then we'll have candy for the regular. It was something we just came together, but again, if everybody has to agree with it, and it's supposed to be for the 25th after the food pantry.
So that's Saturday, kind of like an open house. Could it be also serve as an open house for the community board to, do you approve that?
No, we talking all about it.
We talked-
It's a
yeah,
suggestion,
we talked
yeah.
about it.
That's why it's a new thing to be. It's not approved yet. It's not. It was just something that we was mentioned. Of course, we need everybody in the committee to agree and everybody to approve.
So, one question, do you consider doing some of these, we have our community board meeting, the general meeting is on the 30th, on
I think-
Thursday.
Mm-hmm. We could, and the day is open for option. We just put 25 because it was the food pantry, but it's open for everything, for anybody's opinion. Everybody's
Who are you targeting to come to the office that day?
It's we doing it for all the teens, for teens and kids. Yeah.
Okay.
What are your likely concerns? What are your cons?
We just giving out candy just so that they can see, hey.
So,
That's
so
something
we need to start
community-
collecting candy now.
Well, listen, I have a lot of vendors that I know that I use
So
for
when
my
you got
church.
house, the candy is gonna follow you. On
Yeah,
today.
so I know a lot of vendors that are willing, they always, we just gotta send an email, they be willing to donate. So we won't even have to use our own budget. What was I saying? So it's open for all. Community board ones never did nothing for Halloween. So it's like our community, we try to
Did we?
do different events, give out
We had
candy.
the-
Last
we
year
had
we
the
did.
big- yeah, we had a big, yeah, we did. But no, but it was not publicly, so
No,
we
it
did
was
give
just
it
on the
back.
pantry. So it's like, you know,
No,
we trying to-
I bought like 3 boxes of candy, but it wasn't organized in any traditional way.
Yeah,
because
so
I
that's
also-
what we try to do,
because I
like
was-
different events, because we don't really do much events. Besides the job fair, that was the only event like that we did. So it's
Yeah,
like we
like
try to
job
do different events and stuff, at least our committee. So that's when we thought, okay, we could start off, so we just open, Halloween's coming, give them candies, friends, sensory friendly, and they know who we are.
How do we, Matt, how do we prepare this space to be sensory friendly?
All you need is just,
And would you help to take the lead on
of
that?
course,
Okay, cool.
of course.
So to make sure, because I don't want to
to.
set the fact that I'm a master of this trade and all.
No.
I know how this
Yes.
that is amazingly important to you.
Mhm.
I want to honor you on the and with that.
Yes, so with the sensory friendly,
We could talk more offline about it,
Mhm.
so we could the decision or the.
And there's
logistics
not
are-
too much time. I mean, for the 25th, there's 2 weeks
Mhm.
exactly. I think
we could
Yeah.
even do it on the same at Halloween, early during the day. What time usually kids come out? 3 to 5 to do something.
you mentioned something, right? So you thought about doing something with a purpose, and I think you mentioned students.
All inclusive, kids on the, like all inclusive kids on the spectrum, sensory friendly.
Explain that.
Okay, so when it comes to sensory friendly, like for instance, you see how Halloween is too crazy outside.
Mhm.
My son is autistic, so that's why I know from experience.
Mhm.
So it's too crazy outside, too many people, too much noise. So kids who are on the spectrum, they don't really get to enjoy this stuff because there's nothing for them. So what you were saying was, I was having a conversation with Stephanie about it, where we give out the candy or whatever, stand outside for the kids who are sensory, like on the spectrum. We could bring them in to give them their stuff. They could pick out their bags where it's not too much of a crowd. It's not too much out there. They could come, enjoy, get what they need, and keep going.
Could we partner up in advance with any organization that's already working with that population, so we do something
Sure.
that's more targeted for them and more organized?
Sure.
Because you're gonna have kids passing by, but what you're saying is that you wanna use the CD1 office to do something for these students.
Yeah, so it's
Something
for
that is
all. It's not
targeted-
just for them. It's for all kids. But just for the kids that are on the spectrum, the kids that are like they can't do with the crowd, we'll just host something here for us. But the night can stay out there for all the other kids.
Can I suggest that it be on a separate day?
We can do that.
Because if it is separate, they're still gonna encounter the crazy when they go outside.
That's what I am thinking. So I like more your idea in terms of like, hey, I don't think nobody is thinking about doing something for this population. Maybe this can be something that we do special for the kids within the spectrum. Even if it's 5 or 10 kids,
Yes.
I think it's something nice. It's something
So the
beautiful.
25th and the 31st.
Whatever day. No, we just put the 25th day because it's Friday, so we open to whatever day.
25th
from work.
for our brothers and sisters and kids
On
on
the
the
spectrum,
spectrum.
and the
31st for everyone else.
Okay,
Extra
everybody
Monday.
agrees to that.
Yeah.
On the 31st, the same day of the pantry, you're gonna have families who come with their kids to pick up food.
The pantry's on the 20th,
The pantry's on the 21st.
and then Halloween is the 31st.
The 31st is Friday. Is a Friday.
So when are the kids going out to pick up candy?
On the 31st.
So on the 31st, all you need to do is to stand there,
With the candy.
Yes.
right? With tempura table, with community board. Because one thing also I like is that you give the candy, but the candy is like the carrot to give people something
Mhm.
else. Hey, think about, I don't know, like,
Hey, this is not candy. What is that? What is that candy?
We can put our program, like our.
and if the target is
November.
kids, we should be promoting some type of program that
Sure.
benefits the families.
Mhm.
Right, so we can compile a list of whether it is we're helping people. Catholic, I'm gonna mention Catholic Charities, right? Like we help people apply for SNAP. We help people with different sorts of programs for the families and for the children. We can look at what we can provide on that end and give people something. Hey, here's our community board. Encourage people to come to the community
Yes.
board meetings, right? This is who we are. It can serve as an open house for the community board, and we're doing something cute for Halloween. For the 25th, what I think you should do is to have a number of students that can be manageable,
Mhm.
right? Within the spectrum, and we do something nice for them, something more friendly for these.
Yes. I agree. That's what I brought it up so that everybody, because we just spoke about it, but it was nothing said, nothing set on stone yet. So everybody, had agreement and everybody.
What do you need, man? What do you need from the office?
Just the space for now.
It's a great
I
idea.
think Diana can help with that, right?
And
Gotcha.
we could do, I mean, that's a big responsibility too. So there has to be some type of person, someone with some type of training, right, for the kids. I work with an organization called Kennedy Children's Center. They have an office in East Harlem, and they have a school in East Harlem, and they have a school here in the Bronx. Perhaps we can reach out and ask if one of the parents that are trained to work with these kids could come,
I'm
maybe.
trained.
Oh, you
I'm
are?
certified. Mhm.
Okay. Did you do the Grow Your Own program? by
I
any
did the
chance?
whole thing with I did all the certifications with Bronx. Amanda, what is it called? Bronx.
Yeah.
Great,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay.
I
So
got all the certificates.
that's the work she's doing at the center?
She that it was over the summer.
One of multiple things.
One of
They do
multiple
it.
Okay, so we need to promote,
Mhm.
right, services for the families that come with the kids, so we can prepare that. We should have the candies, you as a professional helping, someone coordinating logistics, and maybe something, again, promoting a service that the families can benefit from. Yeah. I unfortunately won't be here on the 25th. I would love to come to something like this, but I'm happy to help prior to the event. I wish I would be here, but I won't. I have a wedding that day.
Madam Chair, I have something to add, what Mr. Jordan, district manager mentioned. This such a program need a collaboration, we need something to discuss behind the scene, because there is a lot of people. And then beside that, today the president of this committee, education committee, is that she might have a better idea. Of course, she worked successfully with his team, with her team.
Mhm.
So let's keep this one, give them the opportunity to discuss more. Because when Jackie brings something, she had a plan and they will talk in between them. Why I say that? Because the last time, the education committee make the job fair very successful and it is a very good impact in the community. So let's give them the opportunity, let them work. This is something we can focus on the other thing because there is a guest also, maybe they have something to share with us. So
Mohammed is telling us we're taking too long.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mohammed.
thank you.
Okay, sure.
When I hear about all this candy, all I can think about is cavities. I just want to throw that out.
Maybe
Thank
bring some
you.
cold
So we
cake
don't
for
want to
Patty.
have that. We don't have a-
I didn't know about apples,
Let's
oranges.
just do a whole list of sensory toys for them because they can have it.
That's a good thing.
Thank you.
We have 2 weeks to plan for this. I'm assuming we should put something on the calendar so you guys don't have to do it one day. So, are we gonna use a group chat?
We still have our chats.
Yeah, so, okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure about,
Yeah,
you know.
we still
And
have.
we should let other members know,
Yes.
so that way if they wanna get involved, it's on, of course, spreading the word out.
Yeah, because I know a couple of them, for instance, the oh my God, what's the name from Human Services?
Mhm.
She has connections with kids on the spectrum. She was from Bronx, so it's different of them to help us out.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Lori knows some people. There's a few of them that can help.
yeah, being that it's already booked,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what day it is today, but once we don't have that much, 2 weeks and a half, so.
There should be an RSVP list.
Okay.
Because this is a limited space and you wanna limit how many kids you have in the room. Okay, thank you, that was amazing, that's really, I agree with Mohammed, Stephanie's gonna do her thing and hit the ground running, but
Thank you.
I'm glad I was here to participate in this discussion. What other business we have?
I wanted to, so I just need to make sure that there are gonna be processes that we will have internal under this new leadership about when the events are planned, about when you have to engage to form the office in order to lock in stuff as the calendar will reflect, like you talked about, where it'll be publicized on the revised calendar in advance so that folks can be from the community, but also your colleagues on the board, other members can get engaged. So we're gonna start listing the pantry, listing all of this stuff, so that you become familiarized with dates that are available and planning events. So this keep your, we will engage everyone so that you know what the process is. Like you have to plan it, like an example, I'm not saying this is the rule, 30 days in advance when planning an event, and then this is when you have to do so in order to make sure that staff resources or board member resources and ensuring volunteerism from other board members can all happen at the same time. Wow, so that great ideas can be amazing.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mr.
Is that fair?
Yes, because, unexpected things happen, like the Mitchell houses, and then
Yeah.
we won't be able to support as much, but
Or the flood that the office is getting. I hope it doesn't happen no more. That things happen. No, but luckily we survived those things, and I'm just so the chair has the expectation that we are all going to have great ideas and great events. So we want to make sure that we can give you and everyone on the team the opportunity to have the full attention of the office and the full attention of the space in case other things are happening in the world.
I will be here for the 31st, so that I
Are
can.
you trying to say have your favorite candy out?
No candy,
Okay. Fruit.
okay.
That's,
Okay.
I wasn't allowed to celebrate Halloween as a kid.
What else do we have?
You weren't allowed.
No, my mom didn't. I don't know if we guests want to recognize the guests, but we also have the chair any new business goals and expectations for the remainder of the year, featuring goals for next year. Have you folks thought besides this event, thought for and the see at the table, this event, another job fair? Have you thought forward about this? Because there's 9 months left.
Being nice, being more consistent with that as well. Having a regular schedule for when we do it.
Yes.
So we want to start that and see what else they need. If it's suiting what the community, especially the youth, are lacking, and being able to implement that. So to be able to do that, we need to get them at the table.
At the table.
So that's the goal.
Okay.
I would like to discuss with the committee chair the possibility of hosting a prom event for the youth. And perhaps that can be a two-folded event where we provide the students with shoes and dresses, makeup, but also invite speakers that can talk about a variety of issues, whether it is applications for college, job readiness, and even like violence within youth, right? Like a lot of young people are in relationships and things happen, at a very young age. Violence is happening for our kids. So that's something that if you can already put in your notes so that we can discuss. And with the executive committee, we want to talk about some of the big projects for the board. So we'll figure out how to engage everyone, because there's also, the resources of the community board are limited, but we have a commitment to serve. And if we plan so many events, then that reduces our capacity for the staff, etc. But we should align on a few, and I think the job fair being one of them, very important, where it is not only the responsibility of the education committee, but everybody else to support, and then we can think about other ideas. If the prom giveaway needs to happen during that job fair that you're putting together, that's something also worth exploring, because on April, the kids need to have, whatever they need prior to June. So April is not that bad. Actually, the prom dress events that I have hosted for my organization, we do them on April 24th.
Okay.
And if we decide to do something like that, we can.
Sorry.
You okay? Yeah.
Anything else?
We can start.
No.
We can start doing outreach early. But the reason why I mentioned that is because I have some community partners and they donate every year 400 shoes, dresses, blah, blah, blah. Amanda, actually, I worked with her in her last prom giveaway and I donated so many dresses to her that, after I had 3 events, I still had dresses left and they're very beautiful. So maybe something that we can add for that event.
I do want to also remark that there was a job fair in Queens, I think it was. There was a whole line in the mall, like wrapped around. So I feel like the need has increased, and I think one of the disadvantages we had at the last job fair was that we didn't have enough people from the community present, like local restaurants, pharmacy. And sometimes I see signs for delivery drivers and such, but we weren't able to bring them in, and I feel like that would make a more impact than having like, I don't know, Verizon or a company like that. So
What you're saying is that they're seeking for opportunities to work locally.
yeah, to get the community involved as well, right? So the people that live here having the kids, 'cause I feel like that's the jobs that are good for the youth, like delivery, working cashier, the pharmacy, things like that. So building more, the stores. But we didn't really have that. We had more so like bigger companies present. So they were looking to hire people with experience. And I think we also discussed separating the job fair from youth and having adults as well. So it's not mixing it. So I don't know if that's something we're planning to do this year or just only focusing on youth. I just wanted to put that on the.
That's a good observation. It might require more planning,
Yes.
but perhaps the strategy has to be, hey, again, going back to your survey, if you know you're gonna have X number of people who are 15 to 21, right? There has to be some opportunities for these people versus like opportunities for older adults at a job fair. The SYP program, and I bring that program because they have a target. Their students are 14 years old to 24. So the city pays a stipend to students through the summer educations or summer youth program, right? And my God, this is it's a lot of work, but bottom line, for those students that you mentioned that they're having they prefer local opportunities, that gives the employer the ability to get a stipend for them, because many small businesses, they cannot afford more staff. It's themselves and their family members running a business. That is a challenge. But if the students already have their stipend through SYEP, they can come and work for, we just do the connection with the person that's willing to employ them. Maybe we can work with the bid and have, but that is a lot of work because that's literally a job developer that you need. Maybe we can identify 20 to 15 businesses in the community that are willing to hire one of these youth and do this more targeted, because it is challenging. It's not as easy.
How would that work? Like, would that mean we have to figure out the contract in the back end? Like,
So it doesn't have to be so complicated for us. Catholic Charities and perhaps Bronxworks. I know that Catholic Charities is a partner for the city for this program. I'm pretty sure, and I could find that out for you, if Bronxworks, and I'm gonna make a note, if Bronxworks also has SYP contracts, right? Because the only thing that happens is that we as the community board would have to spread the word out about the program. Hey, youth, apply to SYP. Bronxworks and Catholic Charities, they do the matching. So they go through the applications and they select the students, and they have employers, small businesses that are willing to employ people. Through the community board, because we also have relationships with the local businesses, we could ask, that's something that we could do. Hey, would you be willing to take an intern this summer? And they already have a stipend. We could offer that on the side of the employer.
But the thing with that too, because that we noticed a lot, for some youth, they prioritize NYCHA. If you're a NYCHA resident, that's when you get it into. But a lot of teens are not NYCHA. So if you're not a NYCHA, some SYP doesn't get you, so then what we do for that.
Catholic Charities has funds for like 2,500 students.
And it's for all just my night because I
It's
know
for all, and we serve Manhattan and the Bronx, and also within this district in the Bronx. So if you have in your survey, right, NYCHA, no NYCHA, and you can also put, would you be interested in a summer youth employment program? So I think the work here is that survey.
Mhm.
So we know what our people want, and we can kind of do the outreach for the potential partnerships.
So in a way, we're gonna be more so the connection between the employers and the students.
And helping them out so they can fill out the application, because believe it or not, too many people don't fill out the application.
I figured, like, they do with the guidance counselor, right? And it's for kids that are constantly going to school, right? If they're consistent in attending class.
So,
They have, this can get too long, I think we have to do
Okay,
it
yeah,
outside, because
Layers.
there's multiple
Layers,
programs. They do it for the students that go to the school, non-traditional education. So I believe our role is developing a strong survey that allows us to capture what population we're serving and what they need. And from there, we can all work together to identify resources that fit their needs.
That was a good point. I'm hoping that maybe before that time comes, not to get too long, but that we could probably help out with the application first, just put out a sign so they can come and get
Yes.
outside.
I can share that info with you. It's not difficult.
Okay.
Okay, can we move on to the next topic?
So I wanted to add before we move on to the next topic is that also, Christina is gonna be talking to each of you, the group chat about, a book drive, book giveaway, and a collaboration with the 40th precinct. So that's, that's her passion with the committee and talking about literacy. Also, and working with it every bit. I know some of us who's a little seasoned don't remember that when they used to have these makeshift libraries that were posted in different spots throughout the community where folks exchange kind of like appropriate literature, so book lovers could have the opportunity to go in and grab a book that they likely won't find in the library or somewhere, so you can be able to, there was these makeshift bookcases that are kind of like you open it up and you like you used to open up and pull out a newspaper in the street, you open up and pull out a book, a Judy Blume book or whoever type of author that young people or folks, so we can color code it to this color bookshelf is for appropriate for adults, and this is appropriate for children. So like, and we talk about real appropriate for adults, real appropriate for children. So that's one she talked about literacy, and so this as an extra event of talking about you guys and collaboration or things since we have 10 months. And I don't know if you guys, Stephanie put community engagement and partnerships. Did she talk to you guys about that?
You know that?
We haven't had a meeting.
Yes.
Our first meetup.
I'm
since-
sure the group
yeah.
chat is gonna have a
So,
lot
this
of.
is
Yeah.
so the group chat's gonna be lit tonight,
I
right?
Okay, so I suggest that we table that conversation for when Stephanie is leading this meeting. But a very important conversation because with the community partnerships and the engagement piece, it goes back to what you are originally planning with the job fair and how to better serve people. Okay. We have guests, okay?
So please,
Presenting.
we'll talk more. Go ahead. Please introduce yourself and talk about what you.
Well, I already, and myself and Diane have been talking for some time about me and Alexandria coming to this meeting. We're developing a school called the Learning Route. And it was funny that you guys were speaking about some of the things that you were speaking about as far as job fairs and different things of that nature. We are educators as well. And one of the challenges that, our students face are some of the things that you guys are discussing. You know, we decided to develop this school because of those challenges. You
We're
know,
both from the South Bronx.
both from the South
Went to
Bronx.
school in South Bronx.
Went to school in the South Bronx, and we teach in the East Bronx. So I'm think back to the, you know, when I walk into a supermarket, and I tell my kids this story. I ask them, you know, when I walked into a supermarket when I was a kid, there was plenty of cashiers. You walk into a supermarket now, it's much less because of automation, right? So the reason why Alexandria and I decided to develop this school is for that reason, because our kids, while entry level is good, right? Driving, right? Cashier, delivery. We now see we're at a time where those jobs are being cut. And you need to have more than just the ability to swipe something past a scanner. Do you have a certificate in something? Do you have a degree in something? Right? What are your credentials? You know, so we developed the learning group and geared it toward health careers.
So vocational and health careers.
Vocational health careers. So if we have a student who, you know, hey, I don't necessarily, and I have kids come to me all the time.
So we work in a high school, by the
Right.
way. That's why.
They come to me all the time and they go, hey, you know, I don't necessarily want to go to college, but I still, you know, I still want to be able to have a great career. You know, school has taken out vocational learning, trade. I also talk about my student that I had who came to me and I said, hey, well, you went to the college fair or job fair, and they instantly said, you know, I don't need college. I want to be a plumber. He knew from the gate. His name is Jeremy. He knew from the gate what he wanted to do. So I'm saying all that to say that the reason why we're here is because of them, right? We wanted to partner with community board, community organizations to help us help our community. Part of the way of doing that is some of the things that you guys are already doing. Is having events, having kids come and learning about STEM programs, science, mathematics. That's where it's going, right? That's where it already is.
And
Really.
things like our vocational program offer stuff like EMT. So you graduate in the 12th grade, you're coming out certified EMT worker, LPN, CNA, medical coding. So not just, oh, I'm going to be a nurse and doctor, which is beautiful. But if you don't want to do the full 8 years, there's other options.
So now if I go into a job fair, I'm going in to work with a hospital. Straight out of school.
I'm graduating certified.
Right.
You guys are also doing job placement?
Yeah,
That's
that's where we get to the partnership.
That's where we get to the partnership.
Important.
So partnering
Right,
with
exactly.
a Lincoln Hospital,
Right,
Einstein.
right.
So now when our kids come out,
Yes.
right, they instantly have somewhere to go. And then that also helps those organizations, those hospitals, because now they instantly have a workforce ready to go, right? So we're starting from middle school all the way to high school, right? So by the time they get out of high school, they either have the vocational certifications, EMT, you know, coding or whatever, or hey, I want to be a nurse. Maybe I want to be a doctor. Maybe I just want to be a dental hygienist. That's like 2 years in school.
Pardon me, where do you say the school is located or is going to be located?
We want it to be located in the South Bronx.
Yes, that's where
Where
we
we're
want it
from.
to be, yeah.
Yeah.
South Bronx.
Yeah,
Can I
So,
ask you a question, please?
sure.
Do you have any literature with you guys? Like, what is
Well, I actually send some information. This,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That works initially.
yeah, I already sent some information to Diane. Right. So,
That's good. We can get
yeah. So we're looking to one of the things that we want to do is do a health fair. Invite some pre-middle school students to come and learn about different science projects. Also middle schoolers to take an EMT class. We actually have someone we work with who is already an EMT, graduated from the place that can actually, work with the students and then kind of get their feet wet with, hey, this may be something I want to do. And it's something that as soon as I come out of school,
Because she's 18, she came out of school
Right.
at 18, so they
I
get to
can
see
go to
that,
work.
wow, I can really do this.
I can go to work
Right.
and I go to school. And here's the other thing,
Mhm.
right? Both Alexandria and myself had to, and probably most of the people in here, if you're from the South Bronx or a high impoverished area, when I went to school, I had to work,
Mhm.
right? So I had to work and go to school,
Mhm.
right? So most of our students are going to be in that same vein.
Yeah.
So why not set them up where, hey, I could work potentially in the career I want to stay in, but if I change my mind, maybe I want to go to 4 years, but I still have a career where I could still take care of myself, maybe maintain my family, and so and still be successful either way.
A quick question.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. So they're gonna be taking courses and training while in middle school.
No, that's when they get to high school. But in middle school, they will partner up. NYU, I don't know if you guys know NYU, and even Harvard, Columbia Presbyterian, which was a program I was in middle school. You actually use their labs in middle school level. So middle school students will be going to the college to use the labs and getting an idea of getting into that. Then high school level will be the trainings in 11th and 12th.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you.
yeah, no, of course.
So I have a petition to make. I was not originally planned to share the committee meeting tonight. So Diana, if you can share the presentation or the materials that
Okay.
were provided
Oh,
with
okay.
me as well, I will
Sure.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
I would suggest that the chair for this committee reaches out to you, so that way, as I'm sure she has reviewed the information, she can determine how to better disseminate the information. But the proposal that you have sounds amazing, and I'm pretty sure that she has the questions that she wants to ask. My question would be in terms of this sounds more like a charter school, right? Vocational charter school. What is the structure? How does that
Nonprofit.
work?
It's nonprofit.
Nonprofit.
So
No, you're-
it'll be incorporated as a 501c3.
Yeah,
Yes.
we already, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And what are you looking already at a location? Are you looking at a specific area, or that comes? What do you need from the board?
Well, one is the partnership.
Right.
We want to be able to do some of those events that we discussing that you guys are already doing,
But also spacing.
but also space
Yeah.
as well to do some of this
Yeah.
stuff. And it's geared toward youth, which you guys already do. There's one space that we actually were looking at near Lincoln Hospital, which might be potentially a good space. But we're open to other spaces, and I also know you have a land and zoning committee who might be able to help with some of that information. So that's the other thing that we will be looking for.
Do you have, as a 501c3,
Mhm.
the regulations for these schools? You have to come in with all the funding, or is there funding from the city or the state that you're already looking forward to applying for your?
Well,
For
you
the school.
do, you get the grants, there's certain funding you get because you're still working with education, you still get certain funding, certain Title Ones and things like that, like other schools, charter and DOE. What else am I missing?
We're also looking at, besides those funding,
The grants that.
right, grants, and also through the partnership with hospitals, philanthropy. But we were also going to have a tuition. Now, the tuition will be on the lower side, and we would offer scholarships. But why we wanted to offer tuition is we wanted to give the kids the best school resources possible. The difference between, a lot of public schools and even charter schools, because I had a child in both. It's too geared toward, in my opinion, not helping the child create marketable skills. And so in order to do that, and it's not totally the fault of the public school, because public school have so many, stringent parameters on them. like not being able to hire a freelancer to teach EMT. You're not going to be able to do that in public school. In our school, you would be able to do that.
Or hire somebody to do medical coding.
Right.
We want to be able to hire these people to teach our children.
Okay, so I look forward to reviewing the information once Diana shares with everybody. And I'm pretty sure that Stephanie will have follow-up for you with regards to the presentation or questions, and we look forward to collaborating.
And lastly, we would look if open to it. We would love to present to the committee board so everyone can kind of get a better understanding of the school and what it would bring to the community.
Thank you.
We appreciate that, and
Thank you.
when presenting to the board, just for free to the dining room will send you out what we call community presentation form, where the committee has to discuss an appropriate date and time to make that presentation part of the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming, guys.
So
Thank
if
you
that
for
is
having
everything, thank you so much for coming again to our meeting. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Are we okay with adjourning the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn today's meeting. This is-
Yes. Mohammed is keeping us on track. Can someone second that motion? All in favor? Meeting adjourned.
Awesome meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, see you again. Yeah.